Hello, beautiful beings. It's a pleasure to feel you today. And I would like to pull us some cards. I've had a really interesting day and just some wonderful energies. I love them. I love the direction. I love the clarity. I love the consistency of being. Delicious. So the cards have been shuffled, and we're just going to take beautiful deep breath in with our hands on our heart space, moving all the way to the back of the body and all the way down into the body. I'd like you to focus on your inner world, just drawing in your own energy, God's source energy, into your body on the inhale. And on the exhale, just breathing out, returning to source, that which no longer serves, for the highest good of all, and so it is. And if you can, just allowing yourself to envision a beautiful white light all around your body. Every cell lighting up like a tiny sun. Keeping that breath into the back of the body and down into the body, keeping it nice and even. Letting yourself move with the breath. And as you breathe, this white light around you gets wider and bigger. And it becomes your own beacon, your own protection, your own filter. And just allow these words to wash over you. May you feel the love you so deeply crave. May you trust unfailingly in your own heart. May you never feel your feelings are too small or too big. And may you never criticize your best. May you receive constructive feedback with love. And may you move forward always with a smile on your face. And bringing your hands together in prayer position, I'd like for us to take a really deep breath all the way into the back of the body and hold. As we gently exhale, slowly, slowly, we're going to let the whole body drop. Every cell exhales, clearing, cleansing, aligning, releasing, replacing with God's source love, and so it is. May we trust that only that which is for the highest good of all shall come through in this now moment, and so it is. All unfolds in the perfect way. Time to open your eyes and be present with me in a tarot space. Wrack myself around my drawer in a rather uncomfortable way. Forgive me. There we go. I'm free. We are free. So if you'd like to just place your right hand now over your heart as I shuffle I will allow us to receive the messages. Oh, these are coming out really quickly. So we have the Eight of Swords and the Moon reversed. I'm really feeling a lot of anxiety about where we are at this moment in time, this energy. The energy that I'm picking up on is really feeling like it wants to be seen, but it doesn't know how. It wants to be heard, but it just isn't going through. And it almost feels like being torn between staying and going. You know it's going to hurt to leave, but also staying is getting you nowhere, right? So this may be an energy within you. It may be an energy that you're dealing with in someone else, but I would say it feels a lot more like it's for you. For me also. I always read with the intention of reading for myself too. Just have to put that in there because people don't always assume. People don't always wait to hear or making assumptions. And I think that that's part of the reason why we've not moved forwards, because there's been so many assumptions made that it almost feels impossible to move. It almost feels impossible to see clearly, because there's so many voices in the way. There's so many voices that are being heard. Yeah, like we've got on the bottom of the deck before I've finished pulling the cards. The Eight of Cups. So we have 8-8. The Eight of Cups talks a lot about walking away from, it's not a bad situation. It's certainly not a negative. It's not like necessarily abusive in any way. But there is a lot of emotional unfulfillment or a lack of emotional fulfillment. There is a desire. That's better. There is a desire for more emotional fulfillment. I think it's really important to sift and sort through the kinds of energies we want to create with in life. And yeah, I think maybe there's a necessity for a little more control, self-control, willpower in terms of what is actually allowed into your field, myself included. And this is something I've been noticing pop up in the collective and in myself, in my work, in a lot of different areas of life. But yeah, let's talk about the idea of selfishness, because there are so many different interpretations of being selfish. And the Seven of Swords traditionally does talk about selfish thoughts. Well, that's how I read it. I read it as selfish thoughts, selfish focus. But if you notice, what the Seven of Swords does have is it looks like his eyes are closed. So it really is going within. And I like to interpret this card, and I'm sure many other readers do as well, as more of an internal selfishness. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Making sure that we're very clean and concise with that energy, with our relationships, and stating what it is that we need. If we need to have a conversation with someone for us to feel more aligned in that connection, then that's something that you're well within your right to ask for. And if that person isn't available for that, then that says that you're potentially not compatible in terms of your communication styles. And this is something that's come up for me recently. It's something that's come up a few times in my reality, and as I grow and develop and become more vulnerable with the people in my life, I realize that actually it's not a direct or bad reflection on me to ask for a need to be fulfilled by someone, or to ask even for a connection point to have a conversation about something. Because for me, the best relationships have been the ones where you can refine together, you refine together, you refine together. You perhaps notice where you've not behaved with 100% of your kindness or your heart open, and the other person is able to meet you there. They don't assume that you're taking all the blame, or you're apologizing for whatever it is they think you've done. I don't understand sometimes, but there's lots of nuances in emotion and in connection, and quite frankly, there's no right or wrong. It's just, how can people work together? And just as if we were a football team, or trying to think of a team, like if you were on the same team in Uno or something. I don't know, a card game. If I suppose that's what we're doing right now, right? But if we want a team, we get to choose the team. And we are a team of life regardless. And I think sometimes it takes, yeah, really noticing. So this was in reverse, but we're really noticing how different thoughts can affect our reality, and how another person's perception of us, especially if we allow them closely in our lives, is able to influence who we are and what we choose for ourselves. I just want to let that one sink in. The way the people closest to us choose to see us influences how we choose to see ourselves in this world. And some of us are more sensitive than others. So it really is our moral and spiritual obligation to be finding people and places and spaces that energetically and emotionally support and nourish our highest and truest self. This really works in collaboration with our understanding of self, but it also works in collaboration of knowing what's right for you and trusting that feeling, not allowing loneliness or separation to detach you from the fact that you deserve more, or you deserve what you're asking for. You're allowed to say no. A coach I worked with once used to say, if when you say no to mediocrity, you say yes to magic. And I think that that's a really wonderful testimony. I think that's a beautiful testimony to who we're becoming in the process. It's really easy to judge ourselves. It's really easy to allow others' opinions and perspectives of us to take hold over what we truly want and what we truly desire. It's really easy to let their ways of being convince us that the ways we've been exploring ourselves have been wrong, or aren't energetically aligned for us. And I don't think that people do this consciously. I think it's more just a lack of awareness about individuality and the necessity for individuality, and how even if we're manifesting everything we've ever wanted, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's being manifested from a place of stability. Page of Cups. A loving message wants to come through. I'm just going to tune into that. The days of grace left behind fall kindly on blinded eye. I feel that that is really symbolic of people who are seeing you in one specific way, and from reasons not nasty reasons, but for reasons that are out of everyone's control. It's going to feel a lot better for everyone involved to share how you're feeling, because we can always feel these things, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. And if we can just come at conversations from a place of like openness and authenticity, there's really never any need to judge or blame another, but just accept that how someone speaks to you isn't a reflection of you. It's a reflection of how they're receiving that and how they are able to meet you in a place of heart-centered love, or if they remain trapped in their heads and are faking loving connection, which is okay, you know. That's just the way we are sometimes. Oh my gosh, so many things want to come out. I feel like, yeah, we've got this on the bottom of the deck again. I put all the cards back to kind of clear for another message or another portion of message. Yeah, I'm feeling like there's a really fast energy coming in to move forward, like a really decisive action of like, enough's enough. Enough is enough. You know, we can keep letting people talk to us like shit or think about us in really negative ways and let that affect our psyche and our relationship. Or we can confront them up front and have a conversation about things, which ultimately is what is going to lead us to our happy ending, to more emotional fulfillment. The Nine of Cups here. And I think when we are able to recognize the difference between reciprocity and something that we actually don't want, we allow ourselves so much freedom to make way for what we do want. And I see it coming in pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So here we have slow progress, speeding up from what it feels like. Pardon me, that's my phone. Slow progress, hard work, but actually it's going to be the happy ending because you decide to embody it now. And having patience with that aspect of you that wants to move forward is going to be really valuable. Make the decision for yourself. What do you want? You know what you want. You know what you want. How are you going to get it? How are you going to take the steps? Follow the intuition and trust that our personality becomes our destiny, in the words of Robert Greene. I think he quoted that from someone actually, but I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. Everything is our destiny if we choose it to be. There's some more energy wanting to come through about dreams and how business opportunities or potentials for making some cash, a cash influx, which is useful for me right now, I tell you. And I'm sure it's useful for you too. Always useful, isn't it? Fuck the shame around money. Fuck it. It's all beautiful and we're trying our goddamn best. Yeah. Okay. And last thing that I want to mention, or that's coming through to mention. Page of Swords in reverse. The way that others communicate with you is no way to reflect on how well you've been doing. How they choose to perceive you and your frequency and your energy and your alignment has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with how you choose to see you. And you haven't been defensive. You haven't been attacking anyone. There was no need to be met with that defense. If they were capable of working with you and of being vulnerable. And that might take some time for them to get to where you are. And I think it's about being quite open and honest about if we're willing to wait around for that. Friendship lies on the other side. What did I hear yesterday? It was so beautiful. Success lies on the other side of the pain or on the other side of the fear. And I can't remember where I heard it, but your success lies on the other side of fear. So doing those things that scare you, having those conversations, breaking up with people, it can actually be one of the most liberating moments of your life if you choose it to be. And with that being said, I'm sending you all of the love in the world from my heart to yours. Trust your fucking gut. If someone makes you feel like shit and they're telling you who to be and how to act, not your people. I love you. You're not alone. Namaste. All unfolds in the perfect way. And so it is. Deep breath in and hold. As we exhale, let the whole body drop, go really, really slow, and I'll catch you next time.